Hello and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph and I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're starting our series. This is day one of the series. This is an introduction to the series and what will be going on. So my friend Ben and me came up with this idea that we would have a battle of the albums. And in this case, there's going to be the battle of progressive rock albums. He's going to choose the albums and the combatants, and then I will listen to them and review them. And not review them, but basically talk a little bit about each album and then give my opinion about which one I would prefer. And then that album will move on to the second round. So there will be 16 rounds in the first round, which means there'll be 32 albums. He does the matchups, and then I will, again, like I said, listen to the albums and then give my opinion, a little bit of an opinion on both, and then I will choose one to go on to the next round. But basically, I'm going to do something a little bit different than I would have, because some of these albums, to be honest with you, are masterpiece albums for me, and they will naturally be strong with me, and some of the albums I haven't actually listened to, so they're naturally not going to have as strong an opposition. So what I'm going to do is do something a little bit different. Instead of just immediately saying, oh, I like this album forever, it's going to win no matter what this album does. That wouldn't really be much of a battle now, would it? So I decided that what I would do is I would listen to each album, and however I felt at the end of listening to both albums would be how it would go for me. So I may give a little discussion about the history of this particular album with me and why I like it so much, and I may do a little bit of a history of the other album if I have one and give a little talk about it. But in the end, it's just going to come down to that particular day, how I felt about those albums, and then the one that I felt the best about that day is going to move on. So it may not necessarily go the way that it probably would go if I was just doing my favorite versus my least favorite of them. I want to give it a kind of a battle feeling, because some days, as you know, the underdog sometimes pulls off the upset, and that's what makes the whole thing interesting. So that's the way I'm going to run it. So there'll be 16 opening rounds, followed by 8 secondary rounds, followed by 4 tertiary rounds, followed by 2 semifinals, and then the final. So yeah, it will come out pretty much the same as most of my series do, 8 in the morning each day until the battle is finished. I think there'll be one extra day at the end. I'm not sure. I have to think about it a little bit more. I didn't really look into it. I left that part to Ben. So at the end, I may do something for one last episode for the month, or I may just end it a little bit early. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm looking forward to this challenge. I think it'll be an interesting one. There is a huge volume of progressive rock albums out there. I've seen the list that he's given me thus far. He gave me the first 8, and he'll probably give me the next 8 when this 8 is done. Some serious competition here. Most of these albums, a fair number of them I own, so you will get some props for those ones, and then the ones I don't own, I will go on to explain why it is I don't own them. So at any rate, I hope it'll be of interest. So prepare yourself for the Great Prog War. I guess this is volume 1, right? Anyways, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated, and I look forward to seeing you on the first day of battle, which will be January the 2nd. Bye. Have a good day.